Good morning. It's Harvey Jackson. First call out is going to for Chevy, my daughter. It's her birthday today, so have a great day. And let's just get into some of the news items here. Um, U.S. DA is beginning dispersing payments for some of the natural disasters in 2023 and 2024. And it's coming in just at a time when there's a lot of other problems with pricing and tariffs. So it's going to help the U.S. farmer. And you can see that when you look at some of these pricing by commodity, it's by the acre. Wheat is $30.69, corn 42.91, canola 31.83, and even soybeans at 29.76, and this per acre. So if farms are receiving this money, it's going to be somewhat helpful for sure. So I'm going to be all over the board here a little bit. China is putting on not so much just a direct tariff, but they're actually doing things a little wee bit different this time. They're they're doing some non-tariff options, or basically trade restrictions with some, whether it's the killing plant or cutting plant, specific importers. Yeah, they're just making it very difficult for lots of different sides of the business. They make it very difficult for gallium, rare earth mineral, to come into uh, to leave the country of China, trying to put pressure on the U.S. on these tariffs. And you can see here that the soybeans are still quite important to them as well. And you can see even in this article that got posted yesterday by the Chinese customs, uh, year over year they're up 4.4%, and they're still a pretty strong buyer of a lot of goods, that's for sure. Indonesia is putting on some export levy. You can call it what it is, duty, tariff, whatever, to try to restrict the flow of products going to outside of their country. There's supposed to be a 30-day ceasefire, but it doesn't sound like it actually has been enacted as of yet. That tension could bring in a little bit more tension, as well as if they don't abide by some of these ceasefire deals that have been negotiated. Found this article a little bit interesting, and because the CME Group sounds like they're going to launch a European rapeseed oil futures, so that would be traded in Chicago, settled in cash at the end of the day. But the CME is also having that high protein wheat uh, that's going to be coming out here soon as well. So we'll see. They're launching a few new products and see what the uptake will be on some of that. Uh, Lots of unsettled weather, basically central to eastern U.S. plains, and it's causing um, a lot of issues. But there's no real farming really in any great way being done there, especially in the corn and soybean belt. Here you can see just a little bit of a temperature anomalies for the next 10 days. It's still quite warm over in Europe, so things are starting to grow there, of course, and you're starting to get some growing here in the U.S. as well. Yeah, that's what I would say about that one. And moisture, there isn't anything standing out on here. Like Argentina is definitely getting some moisture, which is beneficial for sure. Drought monitor or drought soil zone. You can see that there's a fair bit of drought in Europe and going into Ukraine and those other parts of the regions as well. Um, there was an interview by Fox, and I thought this was interesting because this ass has been basically calling conservatives MAGA for Trump, and Trump is basically endorsing him because he figures he'd be easier to deal with to make it 51st state. So yeah, we'll maybe stop there. Um, Canola is up like $6 to $5 depending on which month. Rapeseed is up 7 on the front month. It's up pretty hard. Soybean oil is just slightly up. Palm oil is up, and the wheats are just slightly down. Canadian dollar is down a little wee bit as well. Let's just look at the charts a little bit closer. This is starting to interest me to maybe get into this a buy of some sort. But just knowing that the tariffs are coming around the corner April 2nd, you're not going to be in this market for very long, just because of the tariffs, unless there's some sort of waiver that ends up happening pretty quick, or knowing that some products are going to be excluded or whatever. But right now, we're a long ways from well, we're not far from the bottom. If we're looks like we've created a little bit of a resurgence from the bottom here anyway. So if we look at the November contract, same kind of idea. It's looks like it created a little bit of a floor here. European rapeseed, nice, a couple good green days here, so that's positive. And if you look at the price of European rapeseed in Canadian dollars minus the front month canola, we're at $167. So it's pretty rich there. Um, and I did not look to see what the ice cover is on the Great Lakes, and I know yesterday when I looked it was only 12%, but it's those choke points of the where the locks are, and no, you can't have ice in the locks and where the shallow water is. That's for sure. Palm oil, top end of this range, uh, trading a little bit green here as I took that screenshot earlier. Crude oil, we're at the bottom end of this range, not getting through that first Fibonacci retracement level. It seems to be staying in that 0 to 23.6. Soybeans, this is still in a downward trend. Canadian dollar, the upper end of this kind of a channel that's here. Sure, there's others up above and extreme below, but I'm uh, not really wanting to trade this narrow channel. Really, at the end of the day, if we break out of this area, uh, I would be interested or below. But the top end to the bottom end of this channel, I'm not too interested in it. Let's have a look at wheat. Wheat's actually got a pretty good story, but it's starting to falter here a little wee bit. You can see that it's done a little bit of kind of slowing down here on the spring wheat classes. Kansas has actually had the biggest move, but we had a couple of days now that it's not really trading on the close any higher here. And this is the Chicago wheat, and it doesn't have that same steep curve that the others had. Corn. It looks like we're going to be probably getting out of some of those corn positions. I would expect if we don't have stop losses in there. Live cattle. I have one client that's was looking at putting, or I think he's got some shorts in, and I said you should be maybe removing them because the trend is not our friend on this one. But with live cattle, yeah, you want this price to keep going and maybe beat some of those all-time highs there. But when you look at feeder cattle, well, that was the all-time high, and now we're way above it. But yeah, it's a very nice trend. Don't bet against the trend. That's all I have for you today.